name is Joren Cain. I am the saxophone professor at Valdosta State University, and I am here for RS Berkeley to talk about overtones today. I play on RS Berkeley's virtuoso alto saxophone, and I'll be using that to demonstrate a few simple concepts to hopefully help get your overtones working for you. Often for beginning students, the most difficult overtone can be the first overtone on a low B flat. Often we play a low B flat and try to play an overtone, and the F on the top of the staff comes out. A good way to work down to that is by starting on your low octave F, and without adding the octave key, first play the lower octave and then play the upper octave and back down to the lower octave. And that is something that can happen fairly quickly for a lot of people, but as we move ahead, things can take time, and everybody has to be prepared to be patient when working with overtones. How are we doing that? Well, a lot of it's going to be your oral cavity changing inside the position of the tongue, and that sort of thing. Just sort of experiment with moving your tongue around, basically, can help do it. But voicing is a term that we like to use a lot. Voice for that note. Think of that upper octave note. You don't have to actually sing it, but hear that note in your head and aim for that. So then we continue down. After F, we'll go down to E and do the same thing. That was C, and about this point, some students often run into trouble with the next two notes, B and B flat. Be patient and be consistent with it. Practice this for a few minutes each day. Don't do it more than 5 or 10 minutes, but do it daily, working on overtones. So I'll play C again. So there's B flat, the 2 octaves. There are lots of resources out there in the world to help work on overtones. My 2 favorite are Sigurd Roscher's book, Top Tones, and Donald Sinta's book, Voicing. And those are both great approaches. Often when we're discussing overtones, it's in order to be used to bridge the gap into the altissimo register. And while that is a great thing to do, I personally like to practice overtones to work on my tone. Once you are able to play some overtones and get up to just above the staff, you know, the second or third overtone, you want to start making sure that you can control these notes. It's not enough just to get the note to come out, but once you do that, be able to play them in tune and with a clear tone. So if you're going for this B flat above the staff, that note, and you can get it out, but just barely, and there are other notes in there. Really work on focusing in on that note, getting rid of any other overtones that might be a part of the sound. So that last version I played is not a sound that we want. It has many parts of the overtone in there. Once you feel like you have some control over focusing on that, you also want to play it in tune. I have my tuner here, and once you can get the overtone series out, make sure you're playing it in tune. You hear that comes out a little bit on the sharp side, so I want to try to bring the pitch down. Same with that B flat above the staff. It's a little bit sharp. And I'm controlling it more with the front of my mouth. And to get the overtones, that's more the tongue and the throat. And so I'm manipulating these 2 things sort of at once. We can go up to D. Etc. Keep working your way up. And work on playing with the best tone you can and the most in tune note that you can play. The reason is, once you are unconsciously voicing for that and creating that great sound, once you play the normal note with a regular high B flat fingering or a palm key D, the note's going to come out clearer and with a better tone, hopefully. That's the goal. Another exercise that you can do to work on controlling your overtones, once you are able to make it into the upper register or above the staff at least, is to play bugle calls. And I'm going to demonstrate one with a low B flat fingering on the horn and overtones on a low B flat, but this is something you can do on other notes as well. Try it on a low B, a low C, etc. And if you can do that over a couple of notes, then I'd say you're in pretty good shape in terms of controlling your overtones. So again, this is a bugle call based on a low B flat. The first note is the F at the top of the staff. Etc. It's something you can do, as I said, off of the low B as well. The eyebrow motion is not a requirement in order to get that to come out, but it might be a side effect. Again, my name is Joren Cain. I am the saxophone professor at Valdosta State University, and I'm here for RS Berkeley. Thanks for watching.